So here are 5 things where you might want to consider getting a therapist. So the first one is infidelity. So I know that when people experience like this infidelity in their relationship, they're like, you know what, I'm in a good place now. I'm sorry about that. Like, let's just move on. And they don't even want to discuss it. They don't want to do, they just want to, let's get back to business. But in those situations, it's like, the goal is not to repeat it. So there's still the issues that happened before that led up to that. So for us, when we think about infidelity, and I know people are gonna hate this, it's a symptom. It's not really the thing. So you gotta back up and deal with all the issues that contributed to building up to that. So therapy is definitely something that I would consider if there's any infidelity in a relationship, period. Don't pass go. Do not collect $200. Go right to the therapy office, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Another thing that I notice when people take too long to go to therapy, so they may let 7 years go by and it's the same issue they argue about over and over and over. But then, one person may say, well, we can figure it out on our own, or they may buy into those myths about what their families or friends have said about therapy, that you're cuckoo if you go get, if you have to talk to somebody, there's something wrong with you. But really, it's you, especially if it's the relationship stuff, you want to make sure you're looking at it as, we need to work on this together. It doesn't mean that we are the problem or that we're crazy. We're both contributing to this in some kind of way. So maybe we do need someone outside to kind of help us and who's objective to help us.
And I would say another thing that you would start thinking about therapy if you saw this happening in your life is if you're realizing that you're having, let's say you're single, and you're realizing that you're having a whole pattern of maybe the same types of people, the same types of situations. And that's in all types of relationships, whether it's just your friendships or romantic relationships. You might want to see a neutral party about what are those patterns and what might be happening, so that you can start doing some self-discovery and start that journey. And because we know that when you're going through ups and downs in those types of relationships, friendships not lasting, relationships not lasting, you also are dealing with healing from heartbreak, healing from disconnection, healing from betrayals, right? So it's going to be really important that you come in and work on your own stuff so that you're not continuing the patterns in the new relationships that you want to have.
Yeah, and the next thing, I know all y'all will agree on this. It's the most subtle thing yet. So we meet couples, they love each other, right? And then they have kids and they have these jobs and they're like killing it, right? Everything is going well. And then they forget about each other in the process. It's not really on purpose. It's like, a side thing, like my partner's going to be there for me. Like I know that, like I got to get this done. I got to get this task done. I got to make sure these kids get to these activities. And what we see is they show up after, the kids leave, or they show up when they realize we're not connected. We don't know each other. We're living like roommates. We're not intimate with each other. I don't really know you anymore. I don't feel like we're connected. And I had one couple be like, where's the vibe? Like the vibe is gone.
The passion.
Yes. That is really, I think, one of the subtle things that show up that says, y'all might want to go get some therapy. You might want to get help to kind of like boost the connection and get back on track with building your relationship.
The passion is definitely an important thing to carry throughout. I know another thing that I've noticed, you might want to think about getting therapy if this is you, is when you start feeling like everything your partner does is to set you up for failure. Like that whole suspiciousness, like, well, damn, he just left all those dishes in the sink. He must really want me to go off. He's doing this on purpose, right? Or why is he always leaving that stuff on the floor? Or he's always getting home late. He must be cheating. Mm-hmm. He's not answering his phone. Oh, he must be talking to somebody else.
Girl, his phone upside down.
The phone. It's the devil.
Phone off, the phone's on silent, the phone flipped over.
But then everything feels like your partner is doing something to set you up, right? To set you up for failure or to do something against you. It's like you coming in your house every day sleeping with the enemy. And so if that feeling comes up, definitely get some help. Don't deal with that on your own.
So let me talk to the brothers. So there's a scenario where, Black men may feel isolated, may not feel like their partner is for them, might not feel like they can talk to their partner, might not feel like it's a safe space to be able to actually like just relax and be open and honest and share. Like that is a big deal in a relationship, and it really can lead to disconnection, lead to your partner maybe like be feeling suspect, almost like I know that something's going on with him, but I can't. He not telling me who he telling, or he's not telling me like why does he trust me? Like, am I just a horrible person? Like, it leads to levels of disconnection. So I know that vulnerability is, and being able to share is something that we work a lot with our Black men. We help them to understand many times, like, women they be paying attention to all the stuff that be going on. They're like, so what is it that he didn't say? Like, I feel like there's something going on with him. And if he's not being honest, like, now I got to dig and figure it out. And that whole process sometimes leads to the relationship not going the way that the men want the relationship to go. So many times when we talk to men, we talk to them about, like, what is it that you want to see? All right, and how can we get to that? Because, men sometimes can be fixers, problem solvers. So we got to put on that problem solving hat, like, to look at, all right, this is the destination you're trying to get to. And here are the blocks that, not sharing and not being open is going to cause you to miss this. Like, you talking about you want peace, that actually doesn't help with getting peace. So if your woman is doing something that's not helpful, right, let's talk about what that is so we can maybe help her to understand that she's not showing up in a way that's helpful for the relationship. So I think that, and when we talk about therapy is necessary, therapy is helpful, because sometimes men and women are not always talking the same language. They might be saying the exact same thing, but they think that they're in an argument. And I'd be like, y'all know you're saying the same thing, right? So I think that in those situations, it's really helpful to get therapy so you can feel like, you get that ability to feel open and connected to your significant other, so she can actually even be supportive, because she can't be supportive if she don't know what's going on.
So I want to chime in on that real quick, and it's only because I know that many times the men are just hesitant, period, of coming into the therapy session, especially coming in as a couple, right? Because the thought is, we're going to see a woman, it's going to be 2 against 1. Right? And that is really not the case. Many of the men that we work with actually come in as like, okay. Number one, we're comfortable talking to you. But number two, this is both people getting their needs attended to. You're not just for her. You're also on my side, right? And really, we're on the side of the relationship. And so we know that both people need to be attended to. Both sets of needs need to be attended to. Both desires need to be attended to. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that the men understand that you're not going to get one-sided anything with us. It's going to be a safe space. And that's what we're also bringing to the show. Both sides of everything, everybody's points of view, because it's important.
So the takeaway is therapy is not a bad word. It's actually a good thing. There's so many reasons why people come in for therapy, and particularly for couples, it's not always just about someone cheated or infidelity, although that is one of the reasons. But we want to make sure that people are healthy, that they are getting their needs met in their relationships, that you're being heard by your partner, and that you really understand that we are here to help both of you, and not just one, but the family and the community.